I'm going to try to wait a couple minutes and see if a couple of people come on here. Hey guys, I'm sitting here in my car. Hi, Christy. I was just thumbing through Facebook and looking at all the posts about abortion and the law that just got signed in New York State, and I'm so hurt and upset by that whole ordeal. And maybe it's guilt. I don't know. You can say it's guilt if you want to. I'm not driving, so don't worry. But my heart is broken because we'll spend all of our time, instead of trying to educate people about abstinence, and I just am so sorry for the lack of morals in our country and what we're teaching our children. And I grew up, I guess I picked the parts out of the Bible that I wanted to, well, the ones that fit into my life. I didn't read the whole Bible. I just picked out the things that, hi Priscilla, hi Nancy. I just picked out the parts of the Bible that conveniently fit into my life, and I was thinking about this abortion deal, and I didn't understand. I had an abortion, and it took me a long time to heal from that abortion, because when I was young, I didn't realize what I was doing. It was an inconvenience in my life, and I took care of it. I made excuses for why I did it, and I'm sitting here thinking about all of the people who would love to have a baby, and I cannot see one reason why it would be okay to abort a baby who's almost born. I mean, 6 to 9 months. I mean, that baby's fully intact, and even if it wasn't, I didn't know abortion was wrong when I did it, but when I got older and I fully understood what I had done, it ripped me apart. And I just wish that somewhere people could wake up as to what they're doing, because abortion is wrong. It stops a beating heart. And I am so horrified that we are going to allow late-term abortion that it just sickens me. Because like I said, I was living my life and really just didn't know enough about God to know that I actually took someone's life until it was much, much later. And I just wish that people would, consider this. You could give that baby to somebody who really wants a baby. There are couples all over the place who really want a baby, and I just think it's horrible that somebody would smile while they're signing a bill like that, and that we as a country have become so morally decayed. And I was a part of the problem, but now I'm trying to be part of the solution. And I wish somebody just stopped and told me back when I went to have an abortion what I was actually doing. I mean, why don't you stop and think about what you're doing before you get pregnant? I mean, there's not anybody I know that in this day and age, a 6-year-old knows that if you have sex, you're going to have a baby. Why don't we stop and think before we get pregnant? Why don't we stop and think before we get pregnant that we're going to kill somebody if we decided to have an abortion? And I'm not trying to get on anybody who's done that. I'm just saying from my perspective, I did not realize what I was doing, and it kills me now to know that I took a life, a precious life, that never even had a chance to make any choices, so my heart's hurting today for people who don't really even know what they're doing, because one of these days they're going to wake up and they're going to realize what they've done, just like I did. And this is not guilt, because I've already worked through the guilt. This is pain, because now I know what I did was wrong. And it just really floored me to see a picture of somebody signing a bill with such an evil looking smile on their face. If you know somebody that's considering doing that, please talk to them and tell them what they're doing before they do it. Because nobody told me I was killing somebody. They just ushered me into Mr. Tiller's clinic and said, let's do this. Nobody told me that one day when I got to be a mom and a grandma and realized how precious little babies were, that I was taking somebody's life. So talk to your kids. There's not a kid 7 years old that doesn't know that having sex causes us to have babies. Let's think about what we're doing before it becomes a late-term abortion. My heart's breaking for this country, number one, but let's tell people what they're doing before they do it. Let's think about what we're doing before we do it. Not just an inconvenience in our lives that we're going to get rid of. Could we stop and think before we act? And I don't know what the point of this message is, except for it's sad for me that we can take time to pass a bill to give money for late-term abortions or to fund whatever, but we can't put people back to work or work with each other or make compromises. I try to stay out of political stuff, but when I thumbed through Facebook today and I saw all these people talking about abortions and people trying to justify it and say it's okay, I'm sitting here in my own experience, and I can only speak for myself. I am telling you that I did not know what I was doing when I did it, and I was horrified when I figured out that I had actually killed somebody. So, how about we get some education going on here? And how about we start talking to kids and teaching them right from wrong? There's a thought. Let's teach them how to not have sex until they're married or they want a family. And if you do get in that situation, there are people who would lovingly take your child into their home. There are so many people that want babies that can't have them. So I guess I'm just caught up in prayer for our nation that something changes. I mean, we're a nation born under God, and my heart's breaking for this country right now. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.